Hey growers, it's Lucas, and today we're going to be setting up some 17-inch metal raised beds. Then we're going to fill them up and get them planted. The kits I have are the 17-inch tall 9-in-1 large modular metal raised garden bed kits from Vego Garden. That was a mouthful. I've had wooden beds in the past, but have been wanting to try metal ones for as long as I can remember. They don't rot like wood and are made of a steel substrate coated in zinc, aluminum, and magnesium, as well as USDA certified paint for increased longevity. They're supposed to last 20 plus years, which I think is pretty impressive. Let's crack into it. We have 4 corner panels, and of course, the straight panels that will create the edges. There are some other goodies in the kits as well, such as cross braces to prevent the beds from bowing out and safety edging. To fasten it all together, we've got some hardware as well. Last but not least, instructions are included to make it all come together. I like how nicely they're laid out and have simple diagrams for reference. It is super sunny right now. I'm getting absolutely blinded, so it's time to grab the sunglasses. I chose to construct 2-foot by 6.5-foot beds, which will suit my needs just dandy. You're going to want to put the rounded nuts on the top 2 rows. All the other rows are just going to get the regular nuts, and the nut goes on the inside. So with the 9-in-1 kits, they do provide you with 1 cross support beam. What I'm going to do, very simple, is just use the bolt 3 rows up from the bottom of the bed, screw in the threaded beam like such, and I'm going to thread it into the other side as well. Just be careful that as you're doing this, you don't accidentally cross thread the beam. So now this bed is built, I'm just going to snug up all the bolts here with this handy dandy tool that comes included with the kits. You can use a screwdriver to hold the other side in place, but I find just using a finger here works just fine. The next thing I did was prepare my garden for the beds. To do this, I got busy pulling weeds. It's not super fun, but luckily my buddy helped out for free, so if you're watching this, kudos to you. Next, I grabbed a rake and focused on flattening out the soil to the best of my ability. I'll show you what I'm going to do with these piles in just a bit. From there, it was simply a matter of positioning the Vego beds in their final resting place and filling with leaves. The idea here is to save money by filling the bottom 3/4 of the beds with free or cheap mediums, such as leaves, straw, cardboard branches, grass clippings. You get the idea. Now this is where my piles of dirt come into play as I backfill the beds. It's all about using the resources you have available to lower your costs and create a top-notch soil structure for your vegetables. I also bought a bunch of crap. That's right, I literally paid money for composted fecal matter. Composted cow manure, sheep manure, shrimp manure, etc. This will add structure and nutrients to your raised beds. Finally, I opted to add a few inches of ProMix high porosity mix to the top of the beds. The idea here is to help increase drainage and airflow and ultimately facilitate root growth, which will lead to healthier plants and more productive plants, hopefully. As far as prep goes, that's all she wrote aside from mixing it up. Can you get complicated with the mix and add a ton of organic amendments at different ratios? Of course. Keep in mind that it'll take a couple years to really build your soil, so don't get too caught up in getting things perfect for your first season. Getting the garden planted is always a fun time. To support the tomatoes this season, I decided to go with my homemade tomato cages, and one of the raised beds, the plants were completely unpruned, while the other were single-stemmed, planting 2 plants per each cage. First, I had installed black plastic mulch to keep the soil warmer and prevent weeds and soil splash onto lower leaves. I always plant my tomatoes deep, burying the bottom 2/3 of stem to encourage larger and more robust root systems. As I always say, more roots equals more fruits. I should put that on a t-shirt. You can add various amendments to your planting holes, and sometimes I'll throw in a bit of bone meal and crushed eggshells for extra phosphorus and calcium, but this isn't critical. I like to water in with a water-soluble bloom booster fertilizer that's high in phosphorus and potassium and lower in nitrogen. Too much nitrogen results in a lush plant at the expense of less actual fruit. Throughout the season, I fertilize about once every 2 weeks based on package directions, and I don't really change my fertilizer throughout the season. I also decided to plant some red bell peppers. This variety is called King of the North, which is suitable for me because I live in Ontario, Canada. I grew these from seeds and they're looking great, so yeah, I'm flexing my bell peppers. I wasn't too picky with the spacing this year, and in hindsight, I spaced the plants too close together. Ideally, sweet peppers should be around 18 inches apart, minimum. I also mixed some chicken manure pellets into the planting holes because I felt like it. That's what the carton is. It's not chicken tomato juice like you might think. Also planted some Waltham butternut squash and Jack B. Little mini pumpkins in some cages at the back of one of the beds. Again, planted too close together. Even I get overzealous in the garden sometimes, but what can I say? These Vego Garden 17-inch metal raised beds got me super excited. Throughout the season, we had growth. No surprise there. It's always a natural progression. Things start off slow and then there's an exponential growth curve once the heat starts to pick up. I had an early blight scare with the tomatoes, but after removing any infected leaves for a few weeks, it seemed to take a back seat. Mid-August, the garden was exploding with fruit. So far, I'd call the 2025 season a success, and we still have lots more to harvest. So here we are at the end of August 2025, and you can see we've got a lot of production going on. In fact, I'm going to film a harvest video right after this, but I wanted to give my final thoughts on the Vego Garden raised beds. Special thanks to Vego Garden for sponsoring this video, but my goal here is to give you an honest review of this product based on my experience throughout this growing season. I really like the product. I think it's solid, it's very sturdy, but also flexible. There are many different configurations based on your own gardening needs. Whatever space you have available, there's likely a raised bed kit for you. They've got a bunch of different color options. These ones that I'm using are the olive green, and I think this is probably my favorite personally. I think it really accents the color of my plants really well. You can see it's got a nice contrast there. So aesthetically, they're amazing. Raised beds I always recommend, especially if you're growing in a smaller garden in the city at home, because there are just so many benefits. Your soil will warm up quicker, and it will also stay warmer longer in the season because it's raised off the ground. And so here in Ontario, where I live, in Zone 5B, we have a pretty short growing season. And so I really need to, maximize the length of my season. And these raised beds help to do that. They're super easy to put together, super plug and play. It's easier than assembling IKEA furniture. So if you're not very handy, no worries. You can definitely put these together. You don't need any special tools. The kits come with everything you need with instructions. I set all these raised beds up in a day or a couple days. I really don't have any complaints with the product that come to mind. I think the pricing is fair for what the product is. But I do think that if you have a very large garden, let's say you're out in the countryside and you're looking to expand or to grow your vegetable garden, personally, I'm not sure if I would necessarily use these raised beds or even raised beds at all, just because, the cost could add up, could start getting pretty expensive. But for a small space, for a home garden, highly recommend these Vego Gardens. But for a suburban garden, I think it's pretty solid value for what you get. And another thing about these raised beds that makes them so great is if you have a bad back or you have accessibility issues, having your garden raised up off the ground is going to be really helpful. And they do have some taller kits as well. So if that is an issue for you, highly recommend checking those ones out. As I mentioned earlier in the video, these raised beds have a 20+ year life expectancy. So, they'll last you a long time. So the cost per season will actually end up being fairly minimal. Aside from their steel raised beds, Vego Garden has a lot of other products to offer as well. Netting, drip irrigation systems, which I was fortunate enough to be provided this season, but I actually didn't get around to installing it. They have lights that you can attach to the side of your raised beds. So a lot of different items aside from their standard raised bed offering. If you like what you see and you want to grab your own Vego Garden raised beds, check out the link down below in the description, and you can use this code to get $10 off. As a disclaimer, I do earn a small commission from any purchases made through that link, and I highly appreciate all the support from you. If you're interested and you like my content, hit that subscribe button, and you can also check out my yard food ebook. I wrote it, took me several months to write, and it's basically just a collection of everything I know about growing vegetables. But check out some of the links in my description. I think you'll find some valuable stuff there. And I think I'm gonna sign off with this one because I have a lot of harvesting to do as you can see. Thanks, Vego Garden, and thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.